कर कुछ उधर ओए कैमरे तू यूज करना कोने वाला केड़ा ये ना ਇਹਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਹੈ मतलब है ना दो तीन दिन अगर फुट नहीं ना जिस आउट ऑफ फोकस से फुट ऑटो पे ना ये मल्टी शॉट रखे थे मल्टी शॉट है ही नहीं इधर नहीं यार रहने दे पोर्ट्रेट भी मल्टी शॉट
check
अदील भाई वाला केड़ा सी
think that's yours
ਉਹ ਲਵੀ ਅਦੀਲ ਭਾਈ ਵਾਲੀ ਕੈਮਰੇ ਦੀ ਬਾਡੀ ਉਹ ਲਵੀ ਹਾਂ ਉਹ ਬਾਡੀ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੀ
check audio check mic test
70 ਕਰਕੇ ਹੋ ਸਕੀ ਐਮਪੀ ਆ ਬਈ ਮੈਂ
check audio check check audio check mic test Labor Day T20 Cup so that's good right so this is the other mic we're checking the other mic audio check all right so hold on I can go down on the treble a little bit how is that now that's better now okay so I'll use the yellow mic now let's see check now this is the yellow mic yellow mic check audio check
That's why I was thinking. All right, so let's test that. Okay, so let's test that. Okay, so now I'm here at the speaker.
check audio check mic test okay go down on yours so we're trying to get the good balance of sound trying to get the speaker and also the streaming getting good balance how is it now check audio check yeah audio check mic test all right so
Maybe go low also on yours. I'm gonna go a little more lower.
let's see go a bit lower on your stream right and so we can give them little sound over here audio check audio check all right
It's not 100%, but it's like 90% good. So we can work. Listen, if you listen it during the day, just let me know what we need. We have adjustments, but I don't know. Anji Mani bhai. जाओ ना बिग थ्री स्पोर्ट्स दे चैनल पे जाओ थानू सारा कुछ मिल जाएगा सा पाउंड कर रहा है इसमें ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਪੈ ਗਿਆ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਸਵੇਰੇ ਸਵੇਰੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ
So we're good to go. Check. So, want to welcome you to C3 semi-final day. Yonkers Eagles takes on New York Diamonds, with the New Diamonds have won the toss, electing to bowl first. Derek Moraine and Wassim Haslam out in the middle. Derek Moraine is on 2, Haslam is on 2. And we welcome you, all our viewers, to the big Labor Day T20 Cup presented by Big Tree Sports. And it's all happening live at Seaview and 88th Street. In the box with me is Suhas Vedam and also Matthew Chaga a little bit later on. Suhas, welcome to Canarsie Park. It's called 88 and Seaview. Welcome to the semi-final.
Thank you very much, Lenny. Very good morning to everyone watching as well. Oh yes, Big Three presents Labor Day T20 Cup, and we can't be more thrilled to be here in Seaview 88th Street.
So Diamonds, they have not lost a game yet, as Abdullah Saeed, they have opted to spin. And Abdullah, occasional off spinner, we've seen Trevor. And so far a quiet start, just 4 runs on the board.
We're playing from one end
Apparently, yes.
to save time, just in case the clouds gather and decide to pour.
So good start here from Abdullah. A cracking shot into the offside, very packed offside field for Derek Moraine. Top quality batters out in the middle. He's Had a very good knock in this series. I'll tell you the scores after this. Over the infield. Goes up to the man of deep cover. Borhan Saeed, it appears. And Derek Moran picks up one, Suhas.
That's one way to break the stumps. As Syed Abdullah was very particular in collecting it with his bucket-like hand. Little did he realize that the furniture is disturbed. Brian has more work to do. We're anyways trying to get this done and dusted with just within time. 4 o'clock is the time when the weather experts predict that don't look up at the sky. You would know. Both the spinners have started off. It seems to be a ploy from Adil Bhatti. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So as I think because of two left-handers has come to the middle. Good time to bowl your offies. Ball cracked into the offside. Finds the gap here.
Excellent stroke. And that is a margin of error, isn't it? Just a touch full and he puts it through the gap. It's the first 6 overs. You either go over the infield or hit it in the gap. You will get runs. It's a good outfield here. Seaview 88th Street is presenting an outfield that the batter wouldn't mind at all.
So both batters would have had a good bit of knocks in the middle. Wassim Haslam 59, 34 and 39. That tells you he's been good. Both sliding down the leg side. Could pick up a couple of runs here. Prajapati is giving chase. And a couple of runs there off the bat of Wassim Haslam. 11 without loss. And these days, Suhas, there's so much talk of matchup. And when it comes to the left-hander, I thought Adil Bhatti has done well to bring a couple of off-spinners on. Ball played into the onside, beats the man, running.
And very well placed. Yesterday there was a dearth of hitting the ball straight down the ground. In ground number A, which ground Alpha A, that I got to commentate at the second game. And little did we know, come this game, everyone's targeting the straighter boundaries in the first and second over itself. This is good stuff. Lenny, we've talked about the matchups, and for a tournament of this kind which comes thick and fast at you, then your rest days, you have to be prepared against many an opposition. I think they've done their homework really well to have played a game last evening and then to turn up and get their matchups right in this one. Adil Bhatti and co.
So Noni Iftikhar has been given the ball. They're off to a very good start. Yonkers Eagles going at 7.5 runs and over. 2 has gone and they're 15 on the board already. Wassim Haslam, a couple of fours, one through the offside, one straight down the ground. Noni Iftikhar would have shared a new ball with the Manhattan Yorkers. He's been around tri-state cricket for some time. Very quality bowler is Noni Iftikhar. Brings a lot of experience to the table. And still a packed offside field, so Adil Bhatti would probably be asking his bowler to concentrate on one side of the pitch. But we have seen him last over Suhas still concentrating on the offside. Haslam was able to get the ball piercing the offside field for 4. So this customary 360 move around, and then the run-up begins for Noni Iftikhar. Very trademark of him.
Every time a bowler calls off, everyone looks at the sky, not in frustration, but just a plea for the clouds to stay away.
So slight overcast here in Canarsie, Brooklyn. Yeah, good start here from Noni Iftikhar. Every dot ball very important in this format of the game. 15 for no loss.
What a good start. Norman did have to go back and try again to get the first delivery. But boy, did it come out well from the hand. Lovely dip as well towards the end. Derek Narayan's one of the tallest. For him to bring that bat down in time, he's done a great job. Good cricket all around.
So, couple of dot balls off the bowling of Norman Iftikhar so far. Narang is on 3. Wasim Haslam is on 12. And we are in the third over. Ball worked into the onside. Trevon Griffith is there, just making sure that the batters does not go for another run.
Excellent start by Noman. Not a run conceded. What he had to do was start again when he missed his footing. And the captain said, we've got to finish this quickly. So make sure that you're in rhythm as quickly as possible. But the delivery that was followed by that little halt was excellent indeed. And Derek Narayan was taken by surprise. Brought his bat down just in time for the Yonkers Eagles to feel relief. Otherwise, the story could have been different. What a good start. Not a single run given away. Slight change in field for Noman Iftikhar. Lenny, he wants a fine leg fielder who's inside the circle to be a man at 45 as orthodox as possible.
Oh, pulled into the onside. Fielder comes around Charan Singh and he falls in front of him. Might have moved a bit late. Nomi Iftikhar certainly not very happy with that effort.
Something had to give, Lenny. Something had to give with 3 dot balls. Went for the big shot, didn't connect at all. That should have been taken 9 out of 10 times. Charan Singh was very late to move. I think he lost sighting of the ball in the foliage behind him.
Score goes up to 16, brings the attacking Wasim Haslam onto strike. He's on 12.
This should be taken. Griffith's got a safe pair of hands. Even though it was flatter and quicker, he knew what to do on that occasion. Noman Iftikhar's persistence has come good, Lenny.
One of the things you'll notice in New York cricket, local cricket, you never hit a ball to Trevon Griffith and expect him to put it down. He's such a safe fielder. And he's come up with a good catch. Haslam gone. He's 16 for 1. So Chris Patterson comes to the middle. Scores 16 for 1 in the third over. Noman Iftikhar has picked up the only wicket so far. As Chris Patterson, another left-hander, walks to the middle. Suhas.
Left-handers galore for the Yonkers Eagles. Noman Iftikhar, he's put no foot wrong today.
So we've seen a couple of overs from the spinners, Trevor Griffith, Abdullah Saeed, and it's Noman Iftikhar who draws first blood, so to speak, picked up the wicket of Wasim Haslam. And now we come down to over number 3, still one more ball to go. Chris Patterson, quality player, another player who comes out of the Majestics Cricket Club. So both Derek Moran and Chris Patterson out in the middle from the same club. Gets a quality delivery that comes back into him. The left-hander does well to keep it down. And that completes over number 3. Sahas is 16 for 1. So 3 of us gone, 16 for 1. Adel Bhatti, the captain, takes the ball, Sahas. And we've seen a couple of overs from spin. We've seen one from Nomi Iftikhar, and now more seen from Adel Bhatti.
Interesting ploy. This the captains decided to operate within the first 6 overs when the restrictions are still on.
So Narayan into the offside, running quickly. Good bit of work here from Noman Iftikhar. And brings Patterson back onto strike. 14, 12, 24 and 12 has been Chris Patterson's score. Many years ago, both batters out in the middle. Suhas would have played associate cricket for Suriname, a neighboring country to Guyana. Ball worked into the offside. Good looking shot from Chris Patterson, realizing that perhaps still early days yet. We're up to 18 for 1 so far in the 4th over.
Good change in pace by Captain Adel Bhatti. So that the batter is a little itchy as well to get pace on the ball so that he can put that away through the gap. Made sure that he gets the lack of it. Well placed by Chris Patterson.
Smashed into the onside from Derek Moran. And that has gone a long way. That's the first limited the maximum. And it comes off the bat of Derek Moran. Big strike.
Moves on to a runner ball 11, just slaps it, waits for the ball to rise to full extent, and because Derek Narayan's burst so vertically, brilliantly done. Just clobbered it straight down the ground with mid-on up in the circle, no chance for anybody to get there. And these are not the biggest of boundaries you'd see. Derek Narayan's clearing them with a sense of ease.
So Narayan goes up to 11. A couple of semi-finals on. UFI Sports takes on Pak Punjab at 88 and Seaview. Just about 8 blocks away from here, Sahas. So, and then of course the big final here later on in the afternoon. 24 for 1. So 24 for 1. Derek Narain on 11. Patadin has just come to the crease. He's on 1. So this is over number 4. We've seen not a good start here from Adil Bhatti. 8 runs in the over. Just 3 balls into the over. Oh, over the extra cover area. And a big shot again from Derek Narain. That's class.
Hold the pose. Adil Bhatti has pitched it just a touch fuller, but Derek Narain's bat had enough room to come through. Inside out, excellently placed. Remember, it's the first 6 overs, so only 2 men are allowed to be at the boundary rope, or the boundary cones here. There's a man at deep point, and Adil Bhatti has deployed one of the fielders in the shape of Charan at deep mid-wicket. If he pitches it even slightly wider and full, Derek Narain will have all the rights in the world to go inside out. He's just wondering why did it not go for 6.
So massively down the ground again. Off the bat of Derek Narain. And look at that. That has gone for 6.
The last 3 balls have been dispatched to different parts of the ground. 6 for 6 for an over that started with 2 singles. That is exactly why Adil Bhatti was a risky option in the first 6 overs. 1 ball to go.
So the highest score in this series has been 82 from Derek Narain, and he also got a 51. He's really been among the runs on a 26 and a 21. He's up to 21 now. And this man could really hit the ball. And with pace on the ball, there's going to be pressure here on Adil Bhatti. Oh, cut away into the offside. Randy Wilson is there, and that will complete over number 4. And after 4, it's 34 for 1. So Abdullah comes into the attack, 34 for 1. A ball cracked into the offside. Patadin finds the gap eventually. And look at that. That has gone away for 4. It looks classy when it goes to the boundary, but a bit of sloppy feeling there. But he pierces the gap. Patadin.
After the previous over, the New York Diamonds, they need to pull their socks up. This fielding effort is just not acceptable. He's just let it go through. That should have been stopped. It's regulation fielding, which has been converted into a boundary. What a way to start the over here.
So they're going over 9 runs and over. Patadin, quality player. And Suhas, how important is to bat with people that you play week after week? Derek Narain and Patadin comes from the same club.
You understand each other's game better because you've played in so many different match situations. And when you play together thereafter, running between the wickets improves. Not that it's required at the moment, with both the batters looking for the bigger denominations in the sport.
And the fact is, Suhas, you get a chance to tell them, don't do that. You got out like that last week. You get a chance to even tweak some technique and plans. Big appeal. Umpire Foster says not out. The 2 umpires are Robert Foster and Brian Kane. Two of the men, if you watch a lot of local streaming, you would have seen them from on different stages.
Yeah, fantastic umpires indeed. It's a backhand jab. Will get that single.
So the Diamonds and Yonkers Eagles locked in a battle here. Only loss to Yonker Yonkers Eagles has been to the UFI, a well put together UFI team if you've seen them play in this tournament. And of course, New York Diamond, they haven't lost a game yet, so two very important, strong matchup as we come into the last four of this tournament. So Bob attempted to play into the onside. That will complete over number 5. It's 39 for 1. And that's the latest score here at Canarsie Park.
Five overs gone, 39 for 1. Despite the loss of an early wicket, Derek Narayan and Chris Patterson are batting as positively as possible. I'm Suhas with him, joined by Matthew. Very warm welcome, Matthew. And with you, the sun comes out as well.
Welcome, everyone watching. Yonkers Eagles taking on the New York Diamonds. Been a bit of an up and down contest so far. We've seen some big overs from the Yonkers Eagles, but they have lost Wasim Haslim, who has been having a very good season. The New York Diamonds as well have gotten some good overs in. Trevon Griffith is back into the attack. Starts with a good delivery to Chris Patterson.
He's not afraid of slowing it down, man. That'll be 2. Derek is running, not the other. This could be trouble. The throw is at the wrong end. The throw was definitely at the wrong end. We were talking about these two playing so much of cricket together and they understand each other in terms of running. Chris Patterson stayed put. He was screaming, Joe, don't run. Derek was looking at the ball and not his partner. It would have been a corner had the throw been at the right end, and I'm really surprised that they even thought of second run. Reason being it's a small ground. It's difficult to get the second one unless you pierce it in the gap so very well and play it with soft hands. And Derek Narayan and soft hands are not synonyms. And that's how hard he strikes it.
It's very unexpected to see such a poor misunderstanding between Derek Narayan and Chris Patterson. Because as we talked about, these two play almost all of their cricket together. Both play for the same local side in the form of Majestics, probably one of the most formidable opening batting pairs in the New York area. And then during the 2021 edition of the minor league, they would have both been part of the Philadelphians franchise.
Good movement sideways by Adil Bhatti. And yes, absolutely, Matt, the point you're making. Well, that's a good delivery. That was the quickest of the lot as well. Lethal as it gets, brings the bat down on time. Fantastic over comes to an end. Half an opportunity and just 2 runs given away at the end of 6. 41 for 1, the Yonkers Eagles. Six overs gone, 41 for 1. Umpire signals that's the end of the first part. They will begin the second. It's time for some medium pace.
Umar Hanif, how good was he yesterday? A 5 for him, was on a hat-trick at one stage. Tremendous performance from him as the New York Diamonds pulled off, in the end, a convincing win against the Gujranwala Wolves, but you feel, had it not been for Umar Hanif, things could have been much closer. You feel coming into this semi-final, the New York Diamonds are back to their full-strength attack, given We've got Adil Bhatti running in with pace. We've got Norman Iftikhar back. We saw him with a little limp yesterday. And then we've seen Abdullah Saeed get thrown the ball. We've seen Trevon Griffith with a few overs. And they've still got Umar Hanif, who will be introduced now, as well as Burhan Saeed and Darren Davis.
Starts off with a poor delivery. The umpire will get some exercise, which is not a problem at all. Sun's just coming out. Wouldn't mind that. New York Diamonds, they've got to keep the pressure on. The flurry of boundaries was followed by a good over. With Trevon's even better over, they've got to keep the pressure on. Chris Patterson and Derek Narine, since they played a lot of cricket together, now you can expect better running between the wickets with the field widely spread.
Good partnership between these two of 27.
Fine legs inside the circle and will get around just in time. Omar Hanif, he'd be a happy man because they had that run away. There was no stopping that one. That would have been four. Chris Patterson and Derek Narine, they're so good on their legs especially.
Down the ground, work to do for Trevon Griffith. Makes no mistake, as you would expect. Just a single. Good start for Umar Hanif.
Matthew, due to the dimensions of the ground, it's a game of four or a single. Taking
2 runs on this particular ground with an outfield of this kind. Very difficult. That's the second wide in the over.
So some new faces in the New York Diamonds side compared to that game yesterday against the Gujranwala Wolves. Sliced away, work to do here for the fielder. And he's not able to get there. So a boundary off the bat of Derek Narine.
Poor delivery. Too much room. And all he had to do was guide it there. He offered a bit more power because he was worried about the fielder in the deep. But the fielder at deep point had no chance with that being hit so very square. It's a good recovery after losing an early wicket by Yonkers Eagles. The Eagles are ready to fly. They're ensuring that they've spread their wings to get to a good total in a do or die. Inside out. This time he's challenging the fielder and will reach the fence again. He was running full throttle for a moment. I thought he'll put in the dive. He kept delaying it.
Yeah, back-to-back boundaries here for Derek Narine. And on both occasions testing the legs of Randall Wilson out on the fence. And winning both times. This is a very good innings from Derek Narine, continuing his good form in this tournament. 31 from 19 deliveries.
Two boundaries back to back. The second one was teasing the fielder. The first one, the fielder had no chance. 50 comes up in superb style for the Yonkers Eagles. What a good comeback, Matt. After losing an early wicket. Oh, that is towards the left of the fielder in the deep. The result doesn't change. Hat-trick of boundaries. Omar Hanif hasn't had the best over to start with.
And Randall Wilson has not had the best over either. 57 for 1 after 7 overs. We saw 3 boundaries off the bat of Derek Narine, all 3 of them to the vicinity of Randall Wilson, 2 to his right, 1 to his left. And it just shows the power of Derek Narine. Combine that with a pretty quick outfield here at Seaview. And he's gotten the Yonkers Eagles off to a flyer of a start.
switch it off and on. There's a little glitch in this. Not all the time.
But we can hear them then. If we talk something else.
No, avoid.
The pitch is fine, but us talking and that going in there, that is not good.
Alright, so if we're good.
No, we're good, but the tick he's talking about, when you turn it off and you turn it on,
No, it's not a screech. It's a you hear the tick.
tick.
You hear it. Yeah. So if you can avoid it, I know you guys don't talk that much. You whisper. It wouldn't pick it up. Keep the phones down. Whisper if you have to between each other. But keep it on all the time.
Chris batted in. He's decided to forego his helmet. Now while he's out there, why not soak some sun? Not very often do you see a batter choose to go about his business without a headgear, but the bowler does. Tucked away for another single side. Abdullah has started off well. He's keeping it straight. He's keeping it quick as well, Matt.
Yeah, we've seen that as well utilised a bit by Trevon Griffith. That quicker delivery just deceiving these two out in the middle on some occasions. Cut away Randall Wilson, this time able to get around, not as much power on that one.
So far so good for Said Abdullah. It's the boundary balls that will hurt them more, and the New York Diamonds know that. Yonkers Eagles, so far they're looking for the big shot, and there comes the big shot. That's six from the moment it left the bat. The fielder in the deep knew that he's going to walk towards the woods to retrieve it. No chance of catching this one. It's just flying away.
Huge hit from Derek Narayan. Just short enough for him to execute that pull to perfection. And yeah, it's just one of those shots. You just know there's only one place that's ending up. And Derek Narayan, you're not going to keep him quiet for that long. Was going to go after him at some point, and on that occasion, winning that battle easily. Big swing and a miss again.
How costly would this opportunity be? Had to stump him there. Had that been a clean collect, Derek would have walked.
Yeah, miss stumping on that occasion. End of 8 overs, 66 for 1.
Touch the microphone while keeping it as well, right? Yeah.
By not doing that, we are making it super perfect.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Perfect now.
Okay.
But that little thing,
Yeah, we'll do that.
I'm hearing it.
Umar Farouk. Hi, sir. What's up? What is the deal?
Vijay Yo, look when I go into Derek Durant.
Why did you stop the off spin?
No, they don't know where to pitch the ball. If a guy is strong on the offside, if you play the high level, there's no way you can play a shot to the offside. You can't come pulling it back. Therefore, he's going to shot through that side. Try to tell back. Every goal is short man fight. Shorting every time. Because the guy goes, pull. You understand? How is it? The video is I don't pass him, well, can you get hardy ball? So you short man pull it. Hardy ball, and I think I give up one shot.
So, bowling change, pace reintroduced. It's Noman Iftikhar, who had a very good first over. 1 over 1 for 1 from him.
Look there on Davis Farm now, right? So you forget there are nothing that's coming into the game right now. Because full of balls. Some other balls we utilize. You know, the left arm spinner we go to be, how we try and capitalize. None of them can't hold him. None of them, like the left arm spinner can't hold him. You know, give a guy what he wants. This game don't play like that.
Well adjusted to that bounce as well, but straight to the field. That good start for Noman. These are great figures indeed.
I clip a guy one time
8 deliveries, 1 run, 1 wicket. Numan Iftikhar. He is a big match player.
Noman Iftikhar, how good has he been so far? 1.2 overs, 1 for just 1. Got the wicket, got the only wicket so far, that being Wasim Haslam for 12. And in this over has come back and has started very well with a couple of dot deliveries. Has slowed things down a little bit for the Yonkers Eagles. Sliced away, but straight to Randall Wilson. Been a very busy man out there, has Randall Wilson. We see on so many occasions the ball will follow you. And in those situations, it's up to you to deal with it. It's been a bit difficult for Randall Wilson. He's had to put in some big chases, but at the same time, he has managed to get behind a few.
Almost saw the field change coming, isn't it? Because he knows that only a single has been taken. He'll try and attack this one. There's a man at square leg now, who was earlier deep backward square. The second run could be very tight. That's again due to the dimensions of the ground. The throw will come quicker.
Chris Patadin has been the more quiet of the two out in the middle, 11 of 19. And you feel Chris Patadin is simply doing perhaps what the Yonkers Eagles will want him to do, and that is to just get the more aggressive Derek Narayan, who's in very good form at the moment. You don't want to keep him off strike for too long.
It's the second time that Norman has called his delivery off, but what he usually follows it up with, he makes up for it.
Chris Patadin has got a number of starts so far in this tournament. Hasn't been able to push on a high score of just 24. So you feel big time for him to really come to the party. Protection out there will be just the one. Good over here again from Noman Iftikhar.
Wanted to hit it uppishly. The fielder at long off is as wide as he gets. That's also because Noman Iftikhar is known for the cutters. He'll take the pace off the ball just in case Derek Narayan doesn't time it too well. Fielder being wide would always help, as Derek Narayan someone who loves to go inside out rather than straight down the ground. 3 deliveries, 3 singles in this over and 2 dots. Another very good over from Noman. Come the big day. Can he close it out well? The final delivery of the over. And that shall be a single as well. The man at deep point will ensure it is one. 9 overs gone, 70 for 1. The Yonkers Eagles.
Darren Davis comes into the attack, looking for a wicket of the New York Diamonds. 70 for 1 at the moment. But ironically, the leading wicket taker for the New York Diamonds has not seen the ball as yet, and that is Burhan Saeed.
Perhaps on this particular ground, it's not about providing pace. It's about the ones who can bowl the slower deliveries better. And Burhan Saeed he has 2 different kinds of slower deliveries up his sleeve. And I think the captain wants to save him for the death overs completely. 14, 16, 18, 20, perhaps.
If that is the plan in the meantime, they've got to try and get a wicket at least before that. Still got 4 overs to go until that strategy of yours will come into effect. Darren Davis, good couple of deliveries to start from him. But they've always been at that 7-8 run and over mark. They haven't necessarily gone super explosive.
He's got to look for the big shot now. Again, very well bowled. Would only be a single. Derek Narayan's inching towards a half century. But I get a feeling that now is the time for him to up the ante. There have been a few quiet overs. The momentum is with the men in blue. New York Diamonds would want to be on the prowl all the time for the wickets by ensuring that the boundaries are cut off. Just like that. Very stylishly played, but another single. Can't really say that this game's getting into a zone where the singles are the ones which are going to be very ubiquitous. Reason being the dimensions of the ground are such that the batter will back himself to go for the big shot. Would it be this ball? Again, no elevation. Only a single.
Chris patted in 13 of 21. Poor delivery, but gets away with it. Patterson wasn't able to get anything on it. Clearly not the intended delivery that from Darren Davis. We see the wide signal from umpire Brian Kane.
Neither the intended delivery from Patterson, intended result for Patterson. This is quickly running away. Work to do for Hanif. The ball will win the race. Looks like he stopped it. Looks like he stopped it, but there's much deliberation about his stop there. See, he was so engulfed in proving that he stopped it that he forgot the throw had to be dispatched. Into the over at the halfway stage. Yonkers Eagles 76 for 1.
Yeah, okay.
At the halfway stage, 76 for 1, the Yonkers Eagles. Joined by Lenny. Always great fun to cover cricket with Lenny.
Thank you, Suhas. And likewise, we have seen a big partnership, 60-run partnership between Derek Narayan and Chris Patterson. 2 men. We made a point several times out of Majestics, one of the top club. And in fact, speaking of Majestics, they are in playoff contention, local league, one of the top leagues in the New York City area. And next week, a lot of playoff game as Abdullah comes back into the attack. And both Derek Narayan and Chris Patterson, always prolific scorers during the course of New York seasons.
Wasn't too far away from the off stick. And you've got to say that the keeping's got to be better than this, just to add that additional bit of pressure. To make sure that you rub it in the face of the batter that it wasn't far away and be there to grab your wicket anytime. It's the second time he's missed out on half an opportunity. Full toss but not put away, just quietly tucked away for a single. And Griffith is someone who's just 2 fielders masquerading as one.
So Trevon Griffith is such a live wire in any fielding unit. If you listen to the audio on the cricket ground, you'll hear his voice more than any other player. He commands you what to do on the cricket field as a fielder. And he's such an inspiration because he set an example. He set such a high standard in his fielding, and he really tries to inspire the team. You'll hear him all day long.
Absolutely, and in between his fielding sessions, it's not the back leg, but all the 3 stumps are visible. And in between his fielding sessions, when Lenny is not on commentary, Griffith finds time for a good sermon as well.
He's a very, very team person. You go to team meetings, and I know because I was part of the Empire State Titan Inner Circle last year. And he comes around Trevon Griffith again in front, the fast-moving Prajapati, and he gets to the ball in front of Prajapati,
Would you believe it, Lenny? Prajapati is one of the quickest in the side himself. And Trevon Griffith gets there, not only gets there, but also is able to tell Prajapati that let's not barge into each other. He had enough time to make him understand that too. I think these are two men who live in different dimensions altogether.
So Prajapati gets his turn to really, in his own zone, to do some fielding. 11 gone, 79 for 1.
Yeah, Griffith is that type of individual. What? Like for example, if you hit the ball into his area, if he's in a good mood, you start while the ball is coming up, you start to signal to you walk. Don't waste time. Oh, confident.
He's so confident. What? I think Ashdeep can use a thing or two from Griffith.
What happened? He dropped the catch in what?
Yeah, he dropped the dolly. You know, I'm friends with. You have to switch it off. Otherwise I can't.
So Darren Davis continues. Ball turned into the onside. Can't score as Derek Narain. And these two men out in the middle is going to be a factor here. There already is 6-3 runs partnership. And Darren Davis to Derek Narain. Cut away into the offside. Randy Wilson, as Matt mentioned, in a very high trafficking area. He's done well to keep his side of the bargain. But we've seen occasion or two where the ball would have beaten Randy Wilson. Very fast outfield here.
Again, very powerfully struck. He had to move sideways and well adjusted there.
So 49 to Derek Narain. Of 35 balls, on the verge of another 50. This man has made many half centuries. Quality delivery here from Darren Davis.
Looks like Darren Davis is also one of the better fielders because he was able to scurry across so quickly that the ball didn't even reach the non-striker. Usually when the ball reaches the non-striker, it is destined to be a single because he has all the rights in the world not to move. That single will ensure that he reaches the landmark. Another half century from the man who's turning out to be Mr. Dependable for the Yonkers Eagles.
So 4 fours and 3 sixes to Derek Narain. Another 50 in New York. He makes 50 for fun, as a popular cricket cliche has been making the rounds. This one into the offside again. Randy Wilson is engaged. And so we've seen a big partnership here. 67 run partnership. 12 gone, 83 for 1.
83 for 1. I'll take a break for about 4 hours. This is double M, right? Swami is double M. Oh, he was terrific yesterday.
Yeah.
Park Punjab 67 for 2 and 7 5.
So Trevon Griffith gets his second ball, Matt. 2 overs, no made, none for 6. He's been very good. And we'll come into bowl to Chris Patterson. 83 for 1. You get the feeling that a Yonkers Eagle being held on a very tight rein here. Going just about 7 runs and over. Trevon Griffith. So ball into the onside, finds the gap. Chris Patterson, and the ball has gone away for 4. Lovely shot from Chris Patterson.
Yeah, you feel Chris Patterson needed that. He's been struggling a little bit to get the ball into the fence or over the ropes for 6. But on that occasion, just enough to find himself a 4. Moves up to 22. And this partnership becoming increasingly harder to break, and it just keeps gaining and gaining every over. Trevon Griffith has done well so far. 2.1 overs, none for 10. Work here for Charan Singh. Hammered down the ground. Does well to save the boundary, but can't prevent the 2.
Yeah, Patterson has been very good in this over. 6 runs so far in a couple of balls. We saw a lovely 4. And so 89 for 1. This is the 13th over. So this partnership continues to flourish, Matt. We've seen a very good knock from Derek Narayan. He's brought up another 50. His third 50 of this series. Got 51, got 82. Now he's up to 50. Patterson is on 25. So 91 on the board. Trevon Griffith has gone for 8 in this over. Still a couple of balls remaining. And the 2 left-handers out in the middle of giving Yonkers Eagles a very good platform here. With 44 balls still to be bowled. So we're coming down to the last 7 overs or so. The boys have done well. Yonkers Eagles have been sent in so far. They lost the wicket of Wasim Haslam for 12. Ball played into the offside. We've seen Randy Wilson doing so much work in the offside mat. A couple of times the ball would have beaten him because of pace and the fast outfield. But other than that, he's held up pretty well.
Yeah, he's done his job. Down the ground, Griffith stretching a hand out. But in the end, it's a good over for the Yonkers Eagles. 10 off it. It's 93 for 1 after 13 overs.
So Darren Davis will continue. Narayan is on 52. Patterson is on 26. We've seen a big partnership. And it's still ongoing for the time being. 77-run partnership. Starts pretty well here, Matt, as we come down to the last 41 balls. Yonkers Eagle just going over 7 runs and over. No elevation, running up towards the backward square area. Fielder comes around. A couple of runs here for Derek Narayan. What a flourishing partnership here from 2 of the popular batters in the New York City area.
He's had a very quiet period of play. We saw a boundary at the start of the last over. And fouled. They've got a wicket. So Darren Davis, I was just making the point, it's been a quiet phase of play for the Yonkers Eagles, and the only thing that was missing for the New York Diamonds was to get a wicket, and finally they've done so. Derek Narayan walks back.
Yeah, well played. 54 from Derek Narayan. All 42 balls, 4 fours and 3 sixes. So Darren Davis, man with the golden arm, is taking care of Derek Narayan. It's 95 for 2.
So making the point, very quiet phase of play the last few overs. Aside from the boundary we saw in the previous over, before that, they have gone 5 overs without scoring a boundary. And now the New York Diamonds, that's what pressure does. They've gotten some very good overs in. They've kept things very tight. They've pulled the game back in terms of the economy rate. They've slowed down Derek Narayan and patted in. And eventually, they managed to pick the wicket. Good work behind the stumps from Syed Azim Haider.
Yeah, the big partnership comes to an end. It took them 79 runs, 95 for 2. So 95 for 2 in the 14th over. Darren Davis is taking care of Derek Narayan, and out comes Navin Stewart. And you get a feeling, Matt, this is a very good time for Navin Stewart in between things with 38 balls remaining. You still have a few balls to get yourself in, and then the big fireworks.
Yeah, and that's one thing that the Yonkers Eagles can always say they have plenty of, and that is lower order firepower. You've got Navin Stewart out in the middle right now. Chris Patterson can still hit the ball, even though he's 26 of 31. I feel he's been there long enough, and he can go at some point.
So this is Darren Davis' third over. Over number 14 in progress.
Still the likes of Jitendra Sukhdeo, Leon Swami, we saw yesterday, was terrific towards the end of the innings. Wasik Ali, we know he can hit the ball. And we would have seen Adil Sardar at minor league level play some good knocks for the New England Eagles. So still a bit of lower order depth to come.
So ball worked into the onside. Patterson gets, in fact, Navin Stewart gets off the mark with 1. So that concludes over number 14. And it's 96 for 2. So 14 overs gone, 96 for 2. Trevon Griffith will continue. Still 36 balls to be bowled. Navin Stewart has just come to the middle. He will be the man in strike. Patterson has brought up a very good partnership with Derek Narayan. But Narayan is gone, and it's left to Patterson and the others along with Navin Stewart and 36 balls to see where they will end up. Trevon Griffith, 3 overs, no maiden, none for 16. He's been quite good. Oh, ball goes down the leg side. We'll wait and see if Navin Stewart would have made some bit of connection on that. And umpire Robert Foster goes leg by. So another run here for Yonkers Eagles. They go up to 97 for 2. Couple of big semi-final today. UFI Sports taking on Pak Punjab. The latest we heard, Pak Punjab was batting over there. And that ground is just about 8 blocks away from here. So playing a miss here from Chris Patterson, Matt. It's 97 for 2.
Pak Punjab at the moment, 83 for 3 in 9.5 overs. Shiv Sangalima, the man doing some damage over there on 49 not out. A big contest not too far from here. UFI Sports Club have been one of the top clubs on paper, and they've had the performances to go about it. We saw yesterday they took out Top Shot in the quarterfinals.
So ball tugged into the onside. Good tidy bowling again from Trevon Griffith, Matt. The off spinner has really come into his own. We've seen very good off spin bowling. We've seen Abdullah Saeed not bad today. Darren Davis has been used. 98 for 2 at the moment. Navin Stewart gets a good ball, squeezes it through the offside, could come back for a couple of runs. And so 2 more runs here for the Yonkers Eagle. In fact, it brings up the 100. And they're 100 for 2 in the 15th over. Good looking shot from Nathan Stewart.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad ball from Sheffield Griffith. It was quick, and it was a good Yorker. Marvin Stewart, though, still managing to pierce that one through the gap enough to find a couple of runs.
So we've got 32 balls remaining. A match, you get the feeling, an ideal time for a batter as Navin Stewart. He could give the ball a tap. Tugged into the onside, Randy Wilson. It's been a busy man today. Comes around, just a single, 101 for 2, 31 balls remaining. They're going at 6.8, certainly not a runaway score. But what we have seen from T20 cricket, how much runs you can score in the last 3 or 4 overs. Charan Singh does well to keep the ball in play. That will complete over number 15. So 15 gone, it's 102 for 2. So 15 overs gone, it's 102 for 2. Darren Davis will continue coming to the last 30 balls. And we welcome back Suhas Vidam.
Thank you, Lenny. The attack shall begin. Didn't have the elevation on that one. And remember, you need to get a lot more elevation because it's not a regular built man out there. It's Syed.
So Navin Stewart. And Suhas, you would have seen some bit of Navin Stewart from time to time. Minor league player, very popular player around this country. And of course would have played for the Trinidad Red Force at one point. Champions Trophy, he has done it all.
Absolutely, Lenny. But interestingly, a man so popular in this country, the first time I saw him was in India. In Anand Premier League, in one small place called Anand, in the heart of the state of Gujarat. And there he was smashing sixes to all parts.
Did you do media work there for that tournament?
Yes, I did, and I'll tell you what, my first assignment was to interview this man before I even got to the commentary box in that one.
So Pata didn't play on a miss, and we come down to the last 27 balls here. Suhas, not a runaway run rate so far, just under 7. So he's gone. So caught behind. Patterson finally goes for 29 off the bowling of Darren Davis. And Darren Davis has picked up his second wicket. This man has been good. Patterson gone. It's 104 for 3.
Just 2 runs on a wicket. The Yonkers Eagles are not getting the big finish that they want. Navin Stewart's one of their key players who's got to launch the ball into the sky and beyond. He's got to get more 6s than 4s here. He loves the dimensions of the ground to be something which he calls Mickey Mouse. Can he provide the big finish? Adil comes to the middle. 2 new men at the crease, and that's exactly what New York Diamonds wanted, especially at this stage when they have to go for a big finish. It's not a kind of track where you can come in and start hitting right away. Navin Stewart was promoted up the order, interestingly, yesterday in the game against APL All-Stars. Didn't work out for him. He's come back to the zone that he calls his own. The finisher role is back for him.
So Adil Sardar, the new man in. He gets off the mark and brings Nathan Stewart back onto strike. 25 balls still to be bowled. And you get the feeling that the Diamonds have played a very good game so far. We saw a big partnership between Derek Narayan and Chris Patadin, a 79-run partnership. But it will be up to the others to come, and those in the middle here.
Every time I appeal, this man is, instead of doing this, he does this.
So 16 overs gone. It's 106 for 3.
85 for 3 Punjab Kings.
What's the
11
big deal?
overs. It's still on.
Stretch your arm.
Five coming here? Huh? Most let's see. It's still on. It's going to be a good game. Whoever plays better wins.
Who's listening to it?
16 overs gone, 106 for 3. Lenny, give us a number at the end of these 4 overs. 7 wickets in hand. Nathan Stewart still out there. Come on, Lenny.
149.
That was very precise. Everyone would be tempted to get to that 150 mark. And here's Lenny, who tells us 149 with all his experience. I'll tell you what, he has a way with numbers. I've asked him a couple of times in Houston, and boy, was he right. I think the next level for him is to get the decibels correct and the decimal levels correct.
So Noman Iftikhar comes back into the attack here. 24 balls remaining. And Suhas, you've got to like the New York Diamonds attack. Plenty of everything.
Yeah. Oh, yes. You love the variation, don't you? And of course, there is Griffith, who has a word of advice for every single bowler, because he's been the one who's found out the right pace to be bowling on a track of this kind.
And the fact is,
Lovely spin.
Trevon Griffith, he's always a live wire in the field, and he tried to marshal his troop. He plays very hard. And now we come down to Nathan Stewart, a 24 ball. Noman Iftikhar. I get the feeling though, Suhas, bowling pace at this stage. We've seen those balls have travelled. Starts pretty well. That's a Yorker. Not much you can do with a ball like that.
That's a perfect delivery to Nevin. Someone who usually gets underneath the ball and clobbers it to all parts. That is the perfect delivery indeed. But look at the margin of error as well, Lenny. If you get it round by just inches, then it will travel miles.
So Nomi Iftikhar makes that full 360 and runs in from the come box. Into the onside. Randall Wilson, he has been threatening all day. He takes the catch off the bat of Nathan Stewart, and another wicket falls.
Fantastic catch indeed. Airborne. Fingers pointing upwards. Timing is jumped to perfection. Excellent boundary awareness. And the cones were far away. That's what you want when you land with a catch of that kind. Tremendous catch, and is someone who's made it look so simple. A difficult catch nonetheless. It's Nathan Stewart departing, and there goes at least 20 runs for the Yonkers Eagles.
Yeah, very key man is Nathan Stewart towards the backing of any T20 innings, and they'll be delighted that they have seen his back. So another wicket goes down. It's 106 for 4. 22 balls still to be bowled. Noman Iftikhar has picked up 2 so far. Noman Iftikhar has been brilliant today, Suhas. When you listen to his bowling figure, 2.2, 2 for 5 for Noman Iftikhar. He's been very, very good.
I was there for 2 years. We trained for 18 months, bowling. Roddy has 50 supporters to pitch the ball. And that's all. With bowling, all you need to do is control, pitch the ball in a good area, and move it differently. That's it. Yeah, I think so. You see, Roddy has slick. After you got a I bowled the 4 overs? Yeah. Yesterday morning game. Yeah, what is it? Yeah, that's one. Yesterday morning game. Yeah. Remember? Yeah. Similar areas.
So 2 new batters out in the middle. Leon Swami comes to the middle. We know he could give the ball a tap. Adil Sardar along with Leon Swami. 22 balls remaining, Suhas.
What I'd suggest is It's of course Adil Sardar on strike. It's all I'd want Adil to do at the moment is tap it down and pick up a single, which is not a bad option. Neither is it a difficult option, because Leon Swami is in great touch. Oh, that is it well. In fact, that's it really well. Forget the singles, he can get fours like this as well.
Yeah, this juncture of the game, Sohas. It will be hard to track these local players. And that one off the bat of Adil Sardar. It's 110 for 4 if you're watching on your screen there. Off the bat of Adil Sardar, we'll make that adjustment. It's 110 for 4.
That's the first poor delivery bowled in the entire 2.3 deliveries that he's bowled so far. Noman Iftikhar. That was quick and that had width. Excellently placed as well. There's a man at deep point, but he had no chance running full tit towards his right. Covered about 20 yards, but not enough.
It's 110 for 5. Adil Sardar, after a smashing shot through the offside, he's out caught behind. Haider does the rest. And Noman Iftikhar, brilliant bowling figures. 3 for 9 so far. It's 110 for 5.
The difference between the previous ball and this one. The previous ball, the batter had the width to work with. This time he cut down on the width as the ball followed him as he tried to go into that shot, ride the bounce, not to be. Excellent delivery, and Noman Iftikhar is amongst the wickets again. 3 wickets for just 9 runs, and all it took was 16 deliveries to pick up those 3 wickets. Noman Iftikhar is a class act come the big game.
So 3 for 9 from Noman Iftikhar. Very crucial time to bowl, and they've turned to the experience of Noman Iftikhar. Jitendra Sukhdev comes to the middle, and so he will be on strike straight away. Leon Swami not yet off the mark, so we'll have to fix that. Adil Sardar would have been the batter with a cracking shot through the offside. What we do know, it's 110 for 5.
Noman Iftikhar's picked up the majority of the wickets and has given away just 9 runs in doing so. 9 for his 3 wickets. Jitendra Sukhdev and Leon Swami, both of them in tremendous touch. Sukhdev will push Leon Swami. Swami will get to the other end. Both of them were clobbering the ball to all parts of the ground, especially the man who's now assumed strike, Leon Swami.
So 19 balls remaining. This has been a very good over from Noman Iftikhar, and it's really an excellent over because he's picked up a couple of wickets. Picked up the important wicket of Navin Stewart, and then of course Adil Sardar. So it's 111 for 5 in the 17th over. Final ball coming up. Leon Swami gets ready to face his first ball. Gotta be a guy right over there, because you know how you know. Adil, who's scoring right now? Adil, who's scoring?
Somebody from that team, those guys.
Yeah, good. Anyhow, leave it. It's this batsman cross thing. This thing is gonna be such a good thing to score.
115 for 5. Looking for a big finish of the men in purple. Yonkers Eagles. Swami and Jitendra. Mind you, there was dew early on when the game started. The sun hadn't been beating down. It's just playing hide and seek. Looks like the captains decided to come on again. Went for 18 runs in his first over. Time for him to make sure that his figures are better at the end of the day.
Yeah, good start from Adil Bhatti. 18th over in progress. 111 for 5. And we got 17 balls remaining. 111 for 5. Jitendra Sukhdev, the man on strike. Punched into the offside. Noman Iftikhar. Not only he bowls well, but he fields well.
Oh, I thought you were asking me how many balls are left.
So 16 balls remaining. Over number 18, Adil Bhatti. A player who would have played well during the course of league cricket in the Washington DC area. Comes out from that area.
Represented the highest level and has delivered a beauty. Death bowling is something that calls for good variations, and Adil Bhatti has them up his sleeve. Jitendra Sukhdev and Leon Swami have a word together, and I think it would be about the slower deliveries. Watch out for the slower deliveries. Try and not get to the ball and let the ball come to you, because you have the power to clear this ground with smaller dimensions.
We've seen a very good bowling performance here from the New York Diamonds. We saw a big partnership between Derek Narain and Chris Patterson, and while in terms of the numbers, 70 plus partnership, it didn't come in very, very quick time. There was some time in which the New York Diamonds were able to bowl a series of dot ball here and there. That partnership came off 64 ball between Derek Narain and Chris Patterson. Other than that, we haven't seen anything of substance between the other batters.
But that's got height and will also have the distance. Abdullah's interested for some reason. He'll soon realize that the cones are getting closer and closer.
So 118 for 5. Big strike here from Leon Swami. Had a big knock yesterday. Very quick knock also. And we come down to the last 13 balls. Where will Yonkers Eagle end up? I made a call of 149. You never know. It's 118 so far.
Yes, that's 31 runs away, and this man can score as many in about 10 deliveries. Very good ball from Adil Bhatti. What a good comeback. 3 dot balls, then a single, and followed by a 6, and 7 runs it shall be in a crucial over. The captain is showing the way from the front. 18 overs gone, 118 for 5. Yonkers Eagles were asked to bat first. Wasim Haslim managed to 12 of 8, and Derek Narain was holding the innings together with Chris Patterson with that fantastic partnership up front. Nevin Stewart was promoted up again to get that extra bit of deliveries under his belt, but couldn't get going today. It was a good catch in the deep, and after his wicket, another one followed. Noman Iftikhar, the pick of the bowlers, with 3 wickets at regular intervals and giving away just 10. An unreal economy of 3.3 come the big game. He's answered above and beyond the call of duty for the captain. Deron Davis picked up 2 wickets, and he doesn't have wickets to show, but Trevor Griffith is one of the tidiest bowlers today.
So ball worked into the offside, running and running well.
Had that been a clean collect, Jitendra was struggling. He wasn't dragging the bat, and it almost felt like he had given up as well before the final stride.
So 11 balls remaining. Leon Swami. We've seen how he can strike the ball. We saw in the last over a big strike from Leon Swami. So he comes in here with 11 balls remaining. And Noman Iftikhar bowling at 3 for 11 so far. He's really been very good here for the New York Diamonds. He's picked up wickets.
Extra bit of bounce, and looks like he's got the outside edge as well. Noman Iftikhar is speaking only to the outside edge of the batters today. Didn't even wait for the umpire's finger to rise. That is the spirit of cricket that we're witnessing here. He walked right away. This might mean that at least 15 more runs are walking back without getting scored. It's Yonkers Eagles who've lost another warrior. 119 for 6, and it's the big in-form Leon Swami departing.
So 119 for 6. Noman Iftikhar has picked up 4. 4 for 11. Very impressive bowling figure from Noman Iftikhar. And it's 119 for 6. 119 for 6.
Eleven for 4, Noman Iftikhar. Bowling his heart out. Yesterday it was Hanif to get the fifer. Are we witnessing something very special here, Lenny? Is there another fifer on the cards? He's got 4 deliveries to try and pick up a wicket within that.
Yes, he's been special today. We've seen a couple of good catch from Saeed Haider, the man donning the gloves. And so Waqas Ali comes to the middle. It's 119 for 6.
This could be the 5th. This could be the 5th of the man pouching it to perfection. A 5-wicket haul. Come the big game. Noman Iftikhar take a bow. 11 runs and those 5 wickets taken. Yonkers Eagles are getting their wings chopped off.
Yeah, the combination of Saeed Haider and Noman Iftikhar continues to be very good here for the Diamonds. We've seen 3 dismissals, in fact 4 dismissals between Noman Iftikhar and Saeed Haider. Catches behind the wicket, and also we saw stumping. So the combination has really worked, and all of a sudden he's on a hat-trick. He's picked up 5. 5 for 11 for Noman Iftikhar. He's been special today.
We were talking about it in the at the halfway stage as well, and we were talking about it just about 15 seconds ago, that there is a chance of a fifer, and we've already seen one from Hanif yesterday. What is it about the New York Diamonds that they produce shining diamonds every time? Fifer from Hanif, and you know that in this format it's the bowlers who win you the matches. Trevor Griffith keeps those diamonds closer. He wears one, and we're not talking about the jersey. And for a man of such speed to be wearing something so glitzy, well, you've got to be careful. It's got to be on a good chain.
So Wasik Ali comes to the middle. And then one Iftikhar, he's on a hat-trick. We've seen several attempts to get hat-trick during the course of this T20 Labor Day Cup. Noman Iftikhar makes the circle and will run into bowl to Wasik Ali. Man on a hat-trick here. Here's Noman Iftikhar. Oh, play and a miss. Trying to access the offside. Doesn't go too well, and the ball goes through to Noman Iftikhar, best friend on the cricket field, Saeed Haider, the keeper.
Rightly called, Lenny. It's a matter of that 4th stump, isn't it? You put that 4th stump alongside the off one, it would have flown. That's how close he was to get the hat-trick. And I like the way you said he makes the circle. He makes the circle before he runs in, and then sometimes he pulls out of it as well. But he's known for the deliveries that he doesn't pull out of, because he can pick up a fifer.
And I'm going to test your international knowledge here. I think one of the Merkel boys does that. Was it Albie Merkel?
I interviewed Albie and I asked him, why does Monet do that? And he said that's because he was pampered too much. He is allowed to do whatever he wants.
So Noman Iftikhar looking for more. Ball goes through to Saeed Haider, who's really played a good part in backing up many of the dismissal today in 119 for 7.
This man is worth his weight in gold. Imagine a 19th over where just a run is given away. More wickets than runs in the 19th over. Final delivery. Can he close it out well? The slowest delivery of the lot was the previous one. He's called it off again. Even if one aspect of that well-oiled machinery is not working properly, he will call it off. The mission is off. It'll start all over again.
So Noman Iftikhar, his final ball in his bowling spell, 3.5, 5 for 11 at the moment. And he comes in here to bowl to Wasiq Ali, 7 balls remaining. So forced down the ground, Saeed Abdullah comes along, and that will complete over number 19. So 19 gone, it's 120 for 7. So final over coming up. Adil Bhatti will bowl the final 6. Ball struck down the ground. Abdullah has some work to do. Will not get across in time. And that has gone away for a very good strike from Wasiq Ali. That has gone away for 4.
Gets into a lovely position and throws his bat at it. We've seen Virat Kohli talk to someone like Rashid Khan and say, "You're the only batter I've seen who moves away from the ball at the point of impact." We try and approach the ball for the same. Here is one another from Rashid Khan's book.
So we've got 5 balls remaining. The big news from the bowling unit perspective.
I think he's appealing for the run out.
Saeed Haida has been a very busy man today. Supplemented Noman Iftikhar pretty well. Noman Iftikhar would have finished his spell of 5 for 12. Economy rate just about 3 runs and over. He's been really special today for the New York Diamonds. And not too long from now, it will be over to the batters of the New York Diamond to see what they can come up with. So 4 overs no in, 5 for 12, the bowling of Noman Iftikhar. You're watching Adil Bhatti. And the batter just walks away to square leg, a swing of the bat. Trevor Griffith, he always on the ball. It's 125.
Lenny, he hasn't got many decisions wrong today, Adil Bhatti. The first over that he ball went for 18 and looked like he was going to be on the back foot for the entire game. That wasn't the case. He came back and bowled an excellent over after that one as well. And look at this one for a final over. 5 runs of the first 3 balls are done and dusted with. If he can keep it down to within 10, he will take it any day. Griffith was suggesting 133. Looks like a decent total on a track of this kind. Chaseable. 149 at the moment. Looks like it's a distant dream. Jitendra Sukhdev has got to connect every single ball from here to get to 140 plus.
So good shot into the offside. Randall Wilson. A bit of fumble at this stage of the game. They will come back for a couple of runs. And so what should have been 1, it's 127 for 7. So 2 balls remaining. Adil Bhatti runs into Jitendra Sukhdev. Good strike on this ball. And it goes 1 bounce over the offside. And that's a good shot from Jitendra Sukhdev. It's 131.
Shot of the day, Lenny. Shot of the day. Great connection. Jitendra Sukhdev for the first time more runs than balls faced. The big finish, he was the one who had to provide the big finish after Swami departed. The final delivery coming up. 11 of the over so far.
So it's 131 for 7. They're going at 6.6 and over. Irrespective, Sohas, what happens to this ball, Diamonds will be needing just about the 7 runs and over. Even if this one goes for 6. This has been another expensive over here from Adel Bhatti. He's gone for 11. And here's the final ball. Into the offside. Trevon Griffith takes another catch. And that's the end of Jitendra Sukhdev. What another great catch from Trevon Griffith, Suhas.
What a fantastic catch. Running in and believing he'll get there before the ball lands. About 25 yards covered in about 5 seconds. Has the balance to continue that run after pouching the catch and join the celebrations. 131 is what the Yonkers Eagles have managed. They wanted to fly higher for sure. They do not get the crescendo finish. But do they have the bowling prowess? Like yesterday when they were able to humble APL All-Stars. Will they have the bowling prowess today to get 131 to look like a 150 total? That's how Yonkers Eagles reached to 131. Wasim Aslim's 12. Jarek Narayan holding the innings together with a well-made 54. Chris Patterton's 29, and that's the partnership which got them going. Nevin Stewart's promotion didn't click today either. Adil Sardar was a 2-ball visitor, and Leon Swami was good enough to walk on his own despite scoring 10 and the team needing him there. That yes was in the spirit of the game. We're not quite sure if the dugout would have liked it. Jitendra Sukhdev's run ball 9 was saving grace as it made sure that the total posted was over 130. The New York Diamonds, Noman Iftikhar, the shining diamond with a 5-wicket haul, come the big game with just 12 runs with an unreal economy of 3, is the pick of the bowlers any day of the week. Deron Davis contributed with 2 wickets and Adil Bhatti towards the end picked up 1, but it is Trevon Griffith, whose economy of 5.25 was very ideal in the middle overs as he ensured he choked the opponents with a lack of boundaries. Wickets fell at regular intervals after 106, and that became a huge problem for Yonkers Eagles as the launchpad was unable to be created. 132 is the number that New York Diamonds are after. We'll come back in about 10 minutes with the reply of the Diamonds.
Check audio, check, check, check. Is it clear? Is it good? Why, is it clear? And it works? Alright, so you want me to try the speaker while we are here? Check, 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 checking for songs, trying to get both the speakers and the other stuff to work. Check, audio check, check. So that is gone for a 6. We welcome you to the Labor Day T20 Cup, and it's all happening here at Canarsie Park. So trying to test to get this thing going. And now, Adil, I can be a second speaker if you're coming out of RCA, then you don't need here. I'm giving you here right now. But if we're going to do RCA, which you have in your hand, I can take this out and put a second speaker. Alright? Check. So we're ready for the chase. 132 needed from 120 balls. Diamonds have done well to restrict this team to 132. Couple of semi-final game here. Pak Punjab takes on UFI at the other ground. So we're back with cricket. 132 to win.
Probably, yeah. So 132 to win from 20 overs. Trevon Griffith and Vandit Prajapati in the middle. Adil Sada with the first delivery, and Prajapati just lets that one go. A couple of good deliveries here from Adil Sada. I'm joined by Suhas in the box to start the reply from the New York Diamonds. How do you see things going for the second innings?
Thank you very much, Matt. It looks like it's going to be a cautious start from Vandit Prajapati and Trevon Griffith. Both of them understand it's not a daunting total. To get to 132, the risk assessment has to be done in the first 6. If you provide a decent start and not a flying one, you're still on course to get to 132.
Up in the air from Vandit. Gets it over the infield. They'll get a couple of runs at least. Running up towards the fence. So a couple of runs to get Vandit Prajapati off and running. And the first 2 runs in the New York Diamonds innings. You feel if Vandit Prajapati and Trevon Griffith can both get going to the potential we know they can, 130 can be chased easily in about 12 or 13 overs.
Absolutely. We've seen the exploits of this man with a bat in hand in leagues around the New York region. Inside out. Did not make great connection, but that is the boon of batting in the first 6 overs. I think it stopped itself. He's got to do a bit more running. I think it's for the first time we've seen 3 runs being taken today.
We saw a lot of 3s at Marine Park yesterday, just because of the... It was a mixture perhaps of 3 things, being Marine Park, being a bigger venue than perhaps here at Seaview. Combine that with a quick outfield. We've seen quick outfields here, but I think probably Marine Park maybe a tad bit quicker. And then in addition to that, we've seen on a few occasions some poor bit of fielding coupled with the intent of batsmen always looking to come back for 2 and 3.
And adding one more point to the 3 bullet points you mentioned, because of the adjacent game, sometimes the fielders forgot which game they were a part of. Oh, that is a clean connection. No one patrolling the boundary rope, just inside the fence. 4 for the taking. Trevon Griffith is not wasting any time. That's one way to announce your arrival. 2, 3, 4. This man is playing with addition.
Yeah, Trevon Griffith. We know what good of an athlete he is. We know what good of a runner he is. Same with Prajapati, but it seems they don't need that if Trevon Griffith can continue hitting them. Just like how he's done there, straight back for 4. And as you mentioned, one of the rare times, 2, 3, 4 in and over.
Two. This should be gone. Oh no, just in front it falls. Boy, was that an opportunity in hindsight when you know it's a smaller total defense. Should he have dived? That's another question altogether. But Trevon Griffith survives, and one of the biggest reasons that he's still out there in the middle is because he didn't connect it too well.
Yeah, we've seen on so many occasions throughout minor league and throughout all of the other local tournaments that Trevon Griffith has played. He's so good at executing that shot. Can clear any ground in the world with that sort of ramp shot. On that occasion, didn't get hold of it, and perhaps in the end that may have saved him. 9 off the first over. The New York
Matt, I'm very confused, to be honest. Trevon Griffith, he hits a boundary first ball that he faces, clobbers it in front of the wicket for 4. And what has he practiced while the ball is being retrieved? How to leave the ball. That's what he's been practicing. Second ball, after that great practice session of how to leave the ball, unorthodox, tries to go over the fine leg fielder, who's inside the circle, of course. Short fine leg fielder. Now he's practicing the scoop.
So Wasim Haslim comes into the attack, the man who had just been in action thanks to the scoop shot from Trevon Griffith.
Good delivery. I think this is a track when, as a spinner, if you're ready to float the ball up a little bit and target exactly the length that the man who's at the moment at the non-striker's end did, you will get the wickets. Just over the infield, and that is enough in the first 6. Vandit Prajapati. I think he is going to diminish this chase if he hangs around for a couple of more overs.
I'll say I'm a bit surprised by the strategy here for the Yonkers Eagles. We saw Adil Sadar, we saw Wasim Haslim. I'm surprised we haven't seen Keon Joseph usually open the bowling. Probably the quickest bowler in this team is Keon Joseph. We've seen him so many occasions. But we saw Adil Sadar, now some spin in the form of Wasim Haslim. Hasn't gone too well. We've seen the mindset, and the message is very clear from Vandit and Trevon Griffith.
Everyone's hanging back at the edge of the 30-yard circle on the offside. Third man's inside the ring. Man at point. Covers extra cover mid-off. That's a stop delivery. We've seen Ashwin do that. But the delivery might be a stop delivery. It's not going to stop Vandit from picking up a single off the ricochet.
And Wasim Haslim bowling to Trevon Griffith. Wasim Haslim will be looking to make up for that one we saw in the previous over. Falling just short of him, but the main question was, could he have put in a better effort? Finds himself here with ball in hand. Full responsibility now on him to dismiss Trevon Griffith. So far the Diamonds won't mind this start. Not a lot of runs to get on the board. So going at just over 9 and over, they'll take that any day of the week.
Oh, good delivery. Hurrying in there with the pace. Trevon Griffith has got a big backlift because the intention is always to clear the fence. Trevon Griffith. So much of hard work and then a poor delivery of this kind. With Trevon Griffith, all he has to do is show the face of the bat.
Yeah, he made that look very, very simple. Just guiding that one away for 4. Wasim Haslam has bowled some of his quicker deliveries. And then that one, Trevon Griffith realizing all he's got to do is find the gap. Just redirect it into the fence for 4. So another good over this is turning out to be for the New York Diamonds.
Beautifully delivered. This is the delivery he was searching for. Not a straight down the line. Finishes or yeah, with 9 runs at the over. I think he's got a ball left. Now finishes with another dot. 2 overs gone, 18 without a wicket.
So the New York Diamonds, a team that will back themselves to try and to contain the New York Diamonds, given the amount of bowling talent they have. Adil Sadar will continue. We saw Wasim Haslam. They've also got Navin Stewart, a quality all-rounder. Keon Joseph, as I mentioned earlier, surprised he hadn't bowled the first.
And do count in Swami as well.
Leon Swami as well, talented up-and-coming player out of the New York area. And they've got Karam Chandram Narayan as well, can bowl a few overs. Another player out of Majestic, and they've got a few part-timers in Derek Narayan and Chris Patterson that can get a few overs in if things don't go to plan. The winner here will go into the grand finale to join one of either Pak Punjab or UFI Sports. Pak Punjab in a bit of a similar situation to the Yonkers Eagles, bowled out for 140. So relatively low scoring games all round.
Trevon Griffith, good adjustment. He's brought the nice low hands while taking stance this time around as he realizes Adil has a knack of bowling the Yorkers. Quite in contrast to the way he faces the spinners, especially in the first 6. Now, Vandit Prajapati, someone who treats the spinners and pacers alike, and even more so if it's the first 6 overs. Again, just targeting the chip over the infield on the offside, collecting fours, especially when the outfield helps him. Oh, that's a cracking hit. No half measures whatsoever. It's only a question of where it landed, just in front of the cone, says the umpire. A boundary of the third ball. You do not give him width, especially you do not pitch it up and give him width.
Vandit Prajapati on the go yet again. And this man, if there was ever a word to describe Vandit Prajapati, there's many. But one that comes to mind is consistent. The man consistently performs. We've seen him dating back to even to the USPL, the first game of Phase 1 in the USPL. Very successful tournament there. Went up to minor league level for the Somerset Cavaliers. Only a brief spell, but in the games he did play, another impressive season. And now comes to the big 3 here in New York, and once again impressing. It's been a rapid rise for this man, Vandit Prajapati.
Very well called, Matt. It's been a rapid rise indeed, and what I like the most about him is the fact that wherever he walks in, be it the Cavaliers, be it NJ Titans for the USPL, he's someone who asks the management for the license. The license to express himself. And when he bats freely like that, especially with someone like Unmukh Chand, as Lenny was mentioning yesterday, he gets to learn a lot and at the same time bloom and blossom to the best of his abilities.
And at the same time, as freely as Vandit Prajapati bats, one thing you have to admire with him, he's not one of those senseless hitters that try to go after every single ball. He's got proper technique shots as well, and he's got a sense of restraint in his batting.
A wide long off has been deployed. And there is a deep backward square lurking. And that is
an okayish delivery. There was a change in pace which sort of confused Trevon Griffith. If that is the line with the ball not moving much in the air, he could have gone through with it. There's no one protecting the rope straight down the ground. There's only a mid-on who would have watched it stale, and would have been very difficult for Leon Swami to cover ground in case it was hit straight down the ground, as he is a very wide long off. Good change in pace in the end. That's the first dot delivery in the entire over, 7 of it with a ball to go.
So Adil Sadar finishes the over with a single to Griffith. 3. In fact, they'll come back for the second now, thanks to the overthrow. 27 without loss after 3.
Three overs gone, 28 for no loss. It's got to be more spin. Reminding the viewers that the first 6 overs are the power play, the batting power play. Only 2 men are allowed to be at the boundary rope, or in this case, the boundary cones. The bowlers decided to go with a deep extra and a man at deep backward square. In fact, just in front of square in the deep. As he moves sideways as we speak. Vandit Prajapati is also adding this dimension to his game, where he is able to take the quiet singles as well, Matt.
Yeah, that's what I like about him. He's got every dimension that you'd want in a great batsman covered. He's got the power shots. He's got the in-between. He can rotate the strike. He's got the restraint, as I mentioned. He can run well between the wickets. Everything about this man is just absolutely exceptional. It's no surprise he's had so much success. Down the ground from Trevon Griffith. Finds the gap. Finds 4 runs. Takes him up to 16. And going after Wasim Haslim yet again.
And that's been the biggest problem for Yonkers Eagles. Trevon Griffith and Vandit Prajapati, both of them are not shying away from the big shots. It's not like one wants to play the anchor's role while the other goes after the bowling. Both of them are treating the ball according to the merit. Good delivery. What a good comeback by Wasim. And that is what Trevon Griffith would do. Yes, there's a bit of glove love as well. Sometimes when he knows that he's taken a good single and he's reached safely, he'll act as a fielder. Not quite sure if he should do that. What if it would have been... Oh, that's a good shot. And an excellent area as well. The man in the deep was in front of square and not behind square. Hence, Vandit Prajapati has targeted behind square to send it for 4. Vandit Prajapati has smashed this one many a mile. That was over corner. That's a beautiful shot indeed. Now Vandit Prajapati is growing in confidence every second that he spends in the middle. This man's sixes are getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, another big over here. They've gone after Wasim Haslim. Not sure he'll be bowling again after this. 16 runs has come off this over, and there's still a ball left. Flyer of a start, 43 without loss. Vandit Prajapati on the charge. And all of a sudden, 89 from 97. You've got to say this is well and truly with the New York Diamonds.
Oh, what a good start. And that's the dimension that he's adding to his game. He's not trying to target every single ball, just playing it according to its merit, not getting carried away with the fact that he's been able to clear the rope once and almost the other time. Excellent over has come to an end with 3 boundary balls and a couple of singles. 2 overs gone. 26 for Wasim and 44 without a wicket at the end of 4.
One.
.44 without a wicket. Nevin Stewart introduced. All fours there. 4 overs gone. 44 without a wicket. A skiddy customer with that extra bounce delivers 1 perfectly. That's a good start, isn't it, Matt?
Yeah, very good start from Navin Stewart. Coming into this over with lots of work to do for the Yonkers Eagles rather. 88 from 95. I'm still surprised we haven't seen Keon Joseph as yet. We haven't seen Leon Swami either.
Taps away, and that's a good way to deal with someone like Nevin Stewart. Don't let him get settled. We've seen how lethal he gets when he bowls a couple of dot deliveries to the same batter. The third one, the batter feels a little itchy, tries to go outside his comfort zone. That's when the mistakes happen. You can avoid that completely, especially when the target's not a daunting one, by picking up a single first up. Vandit Prajapati. What's the field that is offered to him? 5 legs inside the circle, third man's inside the circle. No one at deep backward square. Just a man in front of square in the deep. Again the same mistake, just in case it's short. Oh, that was not straight enough, but Vandit missed it completely. Very wide long on. Mid-off subs in the circle. And there is a mid-wicket in place as well. Just get a feeling that Vandit Prajapati's shot selection is going to be such that deep backward square will have to be in place. You can't let the man saunter in front of square. Reason being, Vandit's got lovely wrists, isn't it, Matt? He can change the angle of the shot at the last moment. Room! And room is a crime to this man. That's gone through for 4 towards the left point. No chance for the fielder. The conundrum of a single run, and Matt is completely engulfed in that. There you go, Matt. Enjoy the shot.
Another boundary of the batter, Vandit Prajapati. Vandit might be doing the tournament organisers a favour, realising that ominous weather might be coming ahead for the grand finale. He's looking to get this done very quickly. Vandit Prajapati, 31 of 16 deliveries, 4 fours and a 6. Trevon Griffith on 18 of 12. Up and over, and just over the head of the fielder. It'll run away for 4 more. It was Derek Narayan who was looking to get a hand on it. And it's a couple of boundaries off the bat of Prajapati. And Navin's short now under the pump.
Let's this one go through as well. One of the most lethal deliveries ends up being a bane for the bowler. It was well directed too, but I think the keeper wasn't in cahoot. 13 runs of Nevin's first. At the moment, the Diamonds are racing away towards victory. 57 without a wicket. .57 without a wicket at the end of 5. Hat-trick of boundaries to finish the over of Naveen. Off to a flying start, Vandit Prajapati and Trevon Griffith providing the cushion for the middle order just in case they are required in the middle to get this done and dusted. With 75 required of 15 overs, they're well ahead at the moment, the New York Diamonds. I'm Suhas Vedam, joined by Lenny. Take it away.
So, thank you, Suhas. We see the introduction of Keon Joseph. And I know Matt, when Matt was on call, made a point. I'm surprised that they haven't seen Keon Joseph. But now he's been called up to the attack. He's a quality pacer, having played youth cricket for the West Indies. I would have played in the 2010 World Cup. So he comes in this match with some bit of pedigree. He's a quality fast bowler, bowls with some bit of pace. And you get the feeling, with 57 runs on the board, bowling to Trevon Griffith and Vandit Prajapati are the batsmen too set for Keon Joseph to have a breakthrough. Suhas, we'll wait and see.
It will be crucial. His 4 overs will be crucial. He's a man in form as well. He's pulled out of it. Keon Joseph, you could sense it. But with some of the bowlers who come from the Caribbean, it's difficult to say they've pulled out or no. For example, Andre Russell. You remember that delivery in the IPL? The batter thought he'd pulled out of it. I think it was Shane Watson. He decided to go through with it. The umpire had no clue because that pull-out happened behind the umpire, not in front of him.
And it's interesting here, the matchup between Keon Joseph and Trevon Griffith. They would have played cricket also for Guyana and the West Indies at the same time. And that was franchise cricket, has really become Suhas. One day we're on the same team, and then down a couple of days later in another tournament, we're rivals.
And I like the way, not just the players, but one tournament permeates into the other in one way or the other. For example, the attire of one of our commentators. He's wearing a lovely cap in pink.
Yeah, that's the championship team of minor leagues, Seattle Thunderbolts. So 58 on the board. Prajapati has batted extremely well.
Good delivery. That is exactly why Keon Joseph required the ball in hand before Nevin. In fact, he should have opened the bowling in my view, because he is someone who can create opportunities. And it's easier to do so when the batters are not set.
And the fact is, Suhas, when you're just defending 132 with 58 runs on the board, you may want to feel that have you given the match halfway already? But still some context in T20 cricket as Keon Joseph will come into bowl to Prajapati.
Extra bounce. Misfield. That should have been stopped. And the power of the man and the pace on the ball. Looks like it's gone for 4. But we'll wait for the umpire's decision, because that run was a little stutter, but was complete in the end. Umpire Brian is inquiring if it went for 4 or no. Looks like it didn't. So you got to say that the batters must have continued with the run. They've wasted an opportunity of a run.
with some ball watching.
Yeah, Matt made a point in this tournament up at Marine Park. We saw so many trees. And so Keon Joseph runs into both of Vandit, Kumar, Prajapati, dabs away, running up towards the point boundary. And that's another good looking shot using the pace of Keon Joseph's delivery. And that has gone away for 4.
What a good shot this is. For someone who's so powerful, to be playing the delicate touches for 4. Vandit is growing from strength to strength. He's becoming a complete batter. And that fitness is also improving. That was one of the better balls. Still had to keep it out. He was able to do that and had the presence of mind and the fitness to go for the run as well. Wasn't losing his balance. That is Vandit Prajapati for you. These are the little moments which cause a big difference in the game. Yeah, just before this tournament began in USPL, as he was playing for the NJ Titans, he got it on a duck and the very next game scored a half century. Dedicated it to, as we were talking about, his late dog. So that sort of shows the mental fitness as well with which he comes in to play the game. And the mental strength that he derives from this game of cricket. 6 overs gone, 66 without a wicket. The first power play has ended and the New York Diamonds haven't given an inch to the opposition. 66 without a wicket. And they need as many to be pronounced winners to enter the finale of Big 3 Labour Day T20 Cup. Attack is the best form of defense. What a way to start the over. Nevin Stewart wanted the upper hand with a surprise bouncer. Gets surprised himself.
Well, a ball that was short and advancing. Trevon Griffith came down and the rest is in the bush. 72 on the board. Trevon Griffith has made his highest score of this series, 26 so far. And so while there's a break in the action, we've got a long list of sponsors who have made the T20 Labour Cup a success. And it includes the likes of ACABS, Noor Mechanical, H&S Construction. Want to say special good morning to Dr. Kumar, Silhet Pharmacy, our good friend Sarwar Bai, Alpo General Contracting, our good friend Wasim Bai, Acme, our good friend Chaudhry Omar, Upscale Construction, Irfan Bai, who runs the Pak Punjab unit, Musa Builder. Want to say special good morning to Kazam, always there for this tournament. Also want to say special good morning to the World Table Cricket Council, bringing table cricket of an international flavor to America. Omar Farouk and Tamu Mirza, international star. Zar Sport, Ali Zar, want to say special good morning to him. Sal Media, good man who is streamed on the other pitches. Want to say special good morning to Sal. Car King Moto, our good friend Irfan Chata. PAYS, our good friend Kashif Hussain. And Helping Hands of Brighton, Umar Usman. And not forgetting Aska Barbecue. Check them out when you are in Brooklyn. So we want to say special good morning and thank you to all our sponsors. Without you, this tournament would not have been possible. So 72 without loss. Ball has been replaced. And so we're waiting for a resumption here, and essentially what has happened, Suhas, with a replacement ball, the tournament budget for balls have gone up by 1.
Totally true. Oh, good collect. Just outside the frame that's been set. Diving towards his left, the fielder.
And Suhas, I think that's one of the reasons we don't play with a $102 ball.
Oh,
The $100 and $200 ball, we play with the $20 ball. So 72, Griffith has played a very good hand here so far.
I like the optimism of the man in the deep who went searching for it.
Now what happens a lot of times, Suhas, you'll probably find a ball that was not in this game, probably on one of the league game earlier on, or you may find a red one.
And you still go ahead with it and play.
Because red ball cricket is still played here.
That bush is so thick that it's a good place to camp. That's a good hike in search of a ball.
Years ago, back in probably 2005, 2006, 2007, this used to be a hotbed for a lot of big tournament.
If you find a ball from back from 2007, that goes in the museum.
They all played here. I was just going to make the point.
Indies.
Brian Lara and the West Indies Stars played on this ground. Yeah, this field used to host a lot of big events back in the days. So ball into the offside. 74 without loss. They need 58 from 80 balls. And the way it's looking, Suhas, diamonds all the way.
Like the way Trevon Griffith has complimented Vandit Prajapati as well. Vandit Prajapati has the ability to take more singles, and that's a good addition to his game. For someone who's known for big sixes and fours, the singles are allowing him to play a longer innings. Now the single would be possible. That throw was unnecessary. In fact, it would be more, as the nearest line of defense is all the way down at the boundary cone. Unnecessary. They're losing their plot here. The Yonkers Eagles.
Yeah, Trevon Griffith and Vandit Prajapati, they're very, very quick runners. And so the opportunity to come back for an overthrow really presented itself with these two batters out in the middle. This over's gone for 10 from Stewart.
Good soft hands from a man who usually clobbers the ball. Will pick up a single and doesn't let Navin get settled. Very expensive once again. 7 overs gone, all 7. 77 without a wicket. What a good start this is, Lenny. At the end of 4, they were 44. At the end of 6, they were 66. There seems to be a mathematical progression to this one.
Yes, Suhas. The New York Diamonds, they haven't lost a game in the series so far. They continue to play well. Trevon Griffith is on 30. Prajapati is on 47. And at the end of 7 is 77 without loss. So Keon Joseph will continue. First of all, would have gone for 9. Might be tough for him to bowl to 2 settled batsmen with a score of 77 without loss.
Absolutely, Lenny, and that's exactly why you use him first up, so that he can create those opportunities for you to try and draw first blood. But even in those 9 runs, one of them was a very streaky boundary. You understand that. It's a better bowler. Work to do for Swami. Lots of ground to cover. Football skills will come in handy, but looks like it's travelled beyond the cones.
Oh, that's a classy looking drive from Trevon Griffith. You made the point. He loves to club at the ball. But that's a lovely off drive. It doesn't get better than that from a left-hander. And a bit of sloppy work there from Leon Swami, but it was a classy shot. Can't devalue that shot.
Lenny, solve this for me. What is it about the left-hander leaning into a drive
The ball kissing the carpet of grass and teasing the fielder till the end and reaching the 4. Compared to the ones that Vandit hits it. Through the same region, but nobody moves. It's still the same denomination, but what makes it more enchanting, the first option? Tell me that.
Well, that's the million-dollar question. Nobody has answered it, and you don't expect me to.
Well, Lenny, years ago when Lara played on the same ground and played the similar shots, we were all in awe, you said. Tell me a bit about those stories.
Well, this ground has hosted as umpire Danny Khan remembers. I remember the West Indies team coming to play cricket in the New York area. This was one of the ground they used. It's a lot better than this, of course. And it's 82 for no loss. Brian Lara, Fidel Edwards, a couple of the West Indies players, some of the past West Indies players, Courtney Walsh, and the other legends were here. Keon Joseph have gone for 5 in this over so far. Will come into bowl to Vandit Prajapati. But one thing I may have missed during the course, we were talking about how good Trevon Griffith was marshalling his troop and how such a good fielder he is. And Suhas, I'll probably pick your brain on this one. Haven't West Indian players in all across, even at the international level or at the international level, haven't they been some of the best athletes in world cricket over time?
Undoubtedly. And not just that. The progression has been such that they've owned the shorter format of the game because of the power dynamics they bring. Look at someone like Russell, Pollard. They've completely changed the approach to a T20 game by not using their feet at all. They can stand where they are and make sure that the ball's dispatched a long way, which is a big addition in T20 cricket because you're minimizing the risk and still getting the runs. That's a poor delivery. Umpire Bryant's not asking for a hug. He's suggesting 5 runs are added to the tally without a ball being counted.
So 88 without loss. Ball sliding down the leg side. Not giving the keeper a proper chance. And Keon Joseph guilty of straying down the leg side. 5 more runs added to this score. New York Diamonds, they're batting at 88 without loss. And Suhas, I made that point because if you play with West Indian units and you go into a team and you play with Trevon Griffith and Keon Joseph and all these players that are very athletic, they try so hard to get their fielding up to a grand level.
And what I also like about the Caribbean cricketers is that mentally they're extremely good. Oh, that is brilliantly stopped. Would be 2 runs. He saved a certain couple for his side. I'll tell you what I also like about them is the mental strength to adapt to any conditions. It's 40 degrees in Abu Dhabi. They'll still be at their 100% compared to someone from the United Kingdom or someone from Australia who have to acclimatize to those conditions.
And the fact is, you go around the New York area, and there's some leagues that are predominantly West Indian League. And one thing for sure, you go to those games and you go to some of those teams, and one of the high point of their playing is their fielding and catching. And if by chance you come out of perhaps another ethnic culture and stuff like that, one of the things you learn very quickly, this team, they're very hard on giving up even 1 run at a time. So you've got to be tough in this team. 91 without loss. Vandit Prajapati is up. He's up on 48. Look at that, trying to access the offside. Doesn't go too well, and that will complete another key on Joseph's is over. 8 gone, 91 without loss. So Wasiq Ali comes into the attack here, 41 to win from 72 balls. Not too sure if Sohas, the relevance of 72 balls, is going to play in the equation here. But for now, they need 41.
Love the way Trevon Griffith has raced to his 38. Not a single shot played in anger. Always treating the ball with a lot of respect. Smashing it away only if it's there to be hit. Much like this one. With in the slot, put away in style.
Yeah, you're beginning to see the body language of the Yonkers Eagle.
Welcome, Wasiq.
Ball hammered away over the offside, and Sohas are making the point that the Yonkers Eagle, they look so flat in the field. Maybe you've given up the ghost here. 95 for no loss.
One man who usually cheers them up, even if it's 96 without a wicket, is Santosh Santi. You must have seen him in USPL as well. It's very hard to keep him quiet. The umpires have literally dragged him out, not because he was misbehaving or anything. They had to drag him out because of the extended support that he gives from the boundary cones.
Yes.
So even if it's 96 without a wicket, it's very difficult to keep him quiet. We do not see him on the field today. He was excellent. He was an unsung hero yesterday, I thought, against the APL All-Stars.
So 48 to Prajapati on the verge. We're getting to a half century. And as we have seen so many times running with Trevon Griffith, I wouldn't be surprised they push it into a vacant spot. And running quickly, they'll pick up a couple of runs here. Let's see. Prajapati on 48. A couple of good balls here from Wasiq Ali.
You were so right, Lenny. You wanted to clobber that one by dancing down the track, at least access the gaps better by making the interception point a different one.
So ball cut away, can't score. This has been a very good over from Wasiq Ali, minus the first four off the bat of Trevon Griffith. But look, he's come back extremely well, and maybe Prajapati, knowing he's on the verge of scoring a half century, you get a little bit tentative as a batsman.
Absolutely right, Lenny. He's not in great shape as he played this one. He wants a second run, and the second run will be complete. It's 50 for Vandit Prajapati. Once again, a big game, and the man delivers. This partnership is single-handedly knocking the opponent outside the park.
Yes.
It's not about the big hits, Lenny. It's about the composure with which 50 or 29 has been scored.
7 fours and 1 6. Big knock again from Vandit Prajapati. He's a class player. And when you want to be classified as class players and top level players, you've got to score runs. He has scored a milestone of 50. And along with Trevon Griffith, flawless so far, 98 without loss at the end of 9.
We've got Lenny, extremely optimistic. In between overs, 9 overs gone, 98 without a wicket. And Trevon Griffith is eyeing his half century as well.
So Leon Swami comes in to the attack, and he comes in with 34 runs remaining.
Again, a little late for my liking, Leon Swami, introduced into the attack. You cannot give him the ball when the game's a damn squib. He's got to work that extra yard to pick up a wicket here. Very good delivery first up. Lenny, what has amused you the most about this particular partnership? Not just one that's innings or Trevon's innings in isolation, but this partnership and the way they've complemented each other.
Yeah, Trevon Griffith, starting with Trevon Griffith. He wanted to get a knock in the middle. By his standard, a very poor series, his highest being 13. And he came into this game looking for runs.
That was the only chance in a while. Direct hit could have been a tighter story. Love the intensity on that occasion from Yonkers Eagles. They need something to go their way. And that perhaps might have been the moment of brilliance that they were looking for on the field.
And the fact is, Sohas still so much batting to come. Abdullah Saeed, Charan Singh, Randall Wilson. This young man, Randall Wilson, he's a young player, but trying to forge himself ahead to play a lot more senior matches.
That's the first shot that looked like... Oh, well, that's a direct hit. That is a direct hit. Umpire Brian has raised his finger. Vandit will continue that run all the way to the pavilion. If Griffith survived, Vandit didn't. Very good hit at the right time.
Yeah, brilliant work from the fielder. He would have had to take a very direct throw on the verge of 99. So Prajapati has to go. And he falls for an equal 50, but he has done his part. And brilliant work by the fielder. We'll try to pick up the fielder name when we come back. But a tremendous throw. It will have to take one of those direct throw for the fast-moving Prajapati or Trevon Griffith.
Wasn't required is what comes to my mind. Yes, he's played an excellent innings and the job's done and dusted. He's put his team within touching distance of entering the finale. But it looks like that single wasn't required with the required rate about 3.1. The tight singles could be avoided. The tight singles. 99 for 1. Good work in the field. We've talked about this before. You need a moment of brilliance, something that can lift the entire team up. Yonkers Eagles would want to believe this is the first of many more to come. If they can keep the intensity up, then they can try and make the 33 look like at least a 50. And you never know. In this game of cricket, things change very drastically. Syed Abdullah comes in at number 3.
So the substitute, Dawud Shabir. A brilliant throw. Almost aiming at one stump. Suhas, 99 for 1. Trevon Griffith comes into strike still. Abdullah Saeed has come to the middle. And look at that. That brings up the 100 here for Diamonds. They're 100 for 1 in the 10th over.
Just wondering, when you say there's only one stump to aim at, or just a little bit more than that, he knocks off the middle stump suddenly. He's done the difficult part.
And you've got to compliment those fielding effort. Not too many times local cricketers come to the park and practice fielding. First thing, you'll pick up a bat and say, "Can you bowl me a couple of balls?" So Leon Swami continues. Abdullah gets a good delivery. And realizing that 32 runs needed here, Abdullah, no rush at all. Trevon Griffith is on 45. It will be good for him to get his 50. A return to form, sort of, Suhas. 100 on the board.
Absolutely, and what a game he's chosen to peak and get back into form as well.
So ball pulled into the onside and eludes. It appears to be Nathan Stewart. No, not at all. Chris Patterson. And that has gone away for 4. So 4 more runs here off the bat of this time. Abdullah Saeed. It's 104 for 1. So Wasik Ali comes into the attack and Matt comes into the box. Matt, it's 28 more. Griffith has come back, approaching a 50 here. What a return to form from Trevon Griffith.
Yeah, big turnaround from what we've seen the last few games of this tournament. Trevon Griffith back in the swing of things. 47 off 29 deliveries, 5 4s and 1 6 to his name.
So Wasiq Ali is first of all would have gone for 7. And you get the feeling, Matt, Trevon Griffith has done the right thing. He didn't come looking to smash balls out of the park, but he's come in to try to play himself in, and in doing so has made 48 so far. So it's 107 for 1, still needing 25. A chance to go into the Labor Day T20 Cup final. With the news, we understand that the UFI doing pretty well, 8 blocks from here. 25 more to win here, Matt. So ball turned into the onside. Will they be looking for a couple of runs? We saw the running of Prajapati and Trevon Griffith, very fleet-footed runners. But in this case, it's 108 for 1 so far. 124 to win this game.
Down the ground, all the way from Trevon Griffith. That has been sent a long way back. What a way to bring up his half century as well.
5 fours and a couple of sixes. 50 here for Trevon Griffith. We've seen 350 in the innings so far. 1 from Derek Narain, 1 from Prajapati. And this one from Trevon Griffith. It's 114 for 1. 11th over bowling. And so now they need 18 from the next 55 balls. So Trevon Griffith, 50. We've seen that's the third 50 we've seen in this game. We saw 1 from Derek Narain. We saw an even 50 from Prajapati, and now Trevon Griffith comes up with a big half century here. He's up to 54. A man that has struggled during the course of this series. His highest score in 3 games was 13. So he's really made a good comeback. This over's gone for 10. And it's 114 for 1, 18 runs still to win this game and to punch their way into the final. Into the offside, Leon Swami has some work to do. He comes around, oh! Does well to keep the ball in play. And now they come back for a couple of runs. Good looking shot again from Trevon Griffith. That will complete over number 11. And after 11, it's 116 for 1. Griffith on 56. Abdullah is on 5, 116 for 1. So Leon Swami will continue, Matt. First of all, would have gone for 6. But maybe the writing on the wall now. New York Diamonds will probably progress to the final. The all-important final will come into bowl to Abdullah. Abdullah picks up a run and hands the strike over to Trevon Griffith. He's batted extremely well, Matt.
Yeah, he's batted very well indeed. 56 from 32. And as you mentioned, the mindset has definitely been a step up from Trevon Griffith. Hasn't just been about trying to hit every ball for 6 and 4. realizing that Vandit Prajapati was doing just that at the other end, so his job was very simple. It wasn't a lot of runs on the board.
But out comes the big shot, time and again, just to show you that this man can hit the ball and hit them far. Another big six here from Trevon Griffith, and he's gone up to 62.
9 more runs, huh? 9 more runs.
So 9 more to win. It's 123 for 1. Trevon Griffith 62 from 33 balls. And I like this innings from Trevon Griffith. It has been an innings of batting yourself back into form. And from time to time you get the reminder that he can hit this ball and hit it far. And so he's up to 63, brings Abdullah on 6. And Matt, it's the Diamonds all the way so far. They haven't lost a game in this competition. And it looks like they'll go to the final with a very impressive, almost perfect record.
Abdullah Saeed looking to end things perhaps in this over. Goes big and all the way for 6. Not wasting any more time. 130 for 1. A dominating performance continues by the New York Diamonds.
Yeah, Abdullah can strike the ball and strike it far. He's done just that. And so the match comes down to just a couple of runs, and you get the feeling that Yonkers Eagles can't wait for this match to finish. And they've totally been outplayed by Trevon Griffith and Abdullah for the time being. Prajapati was excellent himself, got a 50. And now a chance to come back for 2, and that's the end of the game. And so the New York Diamond makes it into the final of the Labor Day T20 Cup here at Canarsie Park, 80th Street and Seaview. And that's the big news for the time being. Diamonds are into the final of the 2022 T20 Labor Cup competition. And we'll have to wait for the decision from the Pak Punjab and UFI game. But for the time being, New York Diamonds have punched their ticket to the final. Trevon Griffith, a brilliant knock from him. So we'll take a break. And with the news, 1:15, 1:30 will be the final game. So we'll take a short break, and I hope you join us for the all-important Labor Day T20 Cup final.